2 years ago, I made a Superflat world that changed my life. It has some of my most favourite projects that I've ever done in Minecraft, from building all of this to killing the Ender Dragon with a Ghast. So I have compiled everything from this world right from the start into one movie. I hope you enjoy.
Alright, so I'm playing Minecraft. I want to try and do a Superflat world. And we are in.
When I first recorded this video, I really had no idea what I was doing. I remember I had just watched Mogswomp's 20 years in Superflat video and thought to myself, you know what, I reckon I could do that. 1 year later, and here we are. But I got all the basic shebang done, getting tools, looted villages, and, of course, dying to an iron golem. For the next few days, I made it my goal to go to the nether, starting off by looting villages and getting a bit more food. I was mainly looking out for a blacksmith, because there's a slight chance the chest will contain obsidian, but I got so unlucky. I had to search so long just to find one, and then it was just a gamble as to whether or not I'd actually get enough. I didn't realise it, but I had travelled over 5,000 blocks. Now that's quite a lot. I did find a saddle and a horse, which made coming back a lot faster. But finally, I did get enough. Built myself a portal, without the exception of dying beforehand. Went through, found a bastion, started looting, found some cool things, and died. I don't really know what I expected wearing iron and leather armor, but nonetheless, I went back. Got some gold so these piglin guys wouldn't bother me, and started searching the fortress. Here, I took out a few wither guys and got my first blaze rod. Yes. Took out a few blazes, jumped over a hoglin, nearly died, hid in a wall, tried to do something cool, died, ran back to the fortress, died, got back, got a blaze rod, and went home to tame a cat.
Yes, no, God! Oh my, hey! Can you get here faster? Yes! Yeah! Yeah!
The next day, I kind of relaxed, making a mob farm out of soul sand. Not really too sure what I was thinking with that, but soon after, it was done. And functioning. For the most part. And at this point here in the series, I found out how weird Superflat actually is. For whatever reason, strongholds generate at the exact same coordinates, regardless of the seed, and thankfully someone's already made a table of coordinates for every single one. And by following it, I can quite easily find a stronghold.
Oh. Okay. I guess we found it.
But then I got back, making an enchanting table with a bunch of bookshelves we got from the stronghold, then spent the next 3 hours getting blaze rods. I can't even begin to explain how unlucky I got. I killed so many blazes and got hardly any blaze rods. People in the comments were saying I was cheating for being so unlucky. It was a bro moment. Then I had to get the ender pearls. I tried piglin bartering, only got 2. Tried killing a few endermen, only got 1. Yes. Then I tried trading with clerics, and after another hour, I wish I was joking, this happened. Please, to the gods, I'm on my knees again. Please, just get me ender pearls, dude. Yes! Oh my god! Yes! Oh, finally! Okay, alright, okay, I need to make sure this guy lives. This guy. But I had everything I need. Nearly 2 weeks after starting the world, I was going to kill the Ender Dragon. Got ready, jumped on a horse, found the stronghold, and put in the eyes. Now, this was pretty daunting. It was the first time I was ever going to beat the game. Properly. I mean, we've all been in creative mode and spawned in a sword and chased after the dragon, but this time, it was for real. Took out the crystals, looked at an enderman, died, climbed an obsidian tower, took out even more crystals, jumped off, died, then it was just me and the dragon. I tried using beds to kill the dragon, died, tried it again, died, tried it one final time, died, tried hitting it, died, tried to get my stuff, died. I'm really not very good at this, am I? But that was until... Use them and die! Yes! Oh my god! Oh, yes! Finally! Oh god, it's glorious! Oh. If I'm gonna be honest, this was probably one of my most favourite moments from the entire series. With a total of 63 levels of XP, I made my way back home. So far in the series, I've only lived in this small, renovated villager house, which we got from episode 1, and I could do with building an actual big base. So, I started off in creative mode, kinda messing around with scaling for a floating island. Using lava from blacksmiths, I was able to make a cobblestone farm and an iron golem farm, which I used to get a bunch of materials for the build. I settled with building the island relatively close by, and I do remember this took incredibly long to make. mainly because this was the first proper thing I've actually built in survival in a very long time. Using the rest of the materials I had left over, I started building a few smaller surrounding islands. Originally, I was planning on building around 6, and I ended up building around double that. I got slightly carried away. When making this, I originally planned on making some sort of valley or mountain range that would surround these islands, but that was way too difficult for me, so instead I went with making a cave. I envisioned some sort of large underground chamber with these islands right in the centre. The easiest way I could think of doing this was by lava casting the walls, where you build a ring all the way around the perimeter, throwing lava over it and then pouring water over that, converting the lava into cobblestone. I then finished off the top of the cave by going over it with cobblestone.
Alright, and I think we've done the top of it, but that is the cave done for the most part.
At this point though, I took a mini break from building and went to the end to find an elytra. Going to the stronghold on horseback, saving up some supplies in case I died, jumped into the portal, and I don't think I've been more nervous about doing something in Minecraft up until right now. I made a little area of water for me to land in case I got knocked off. I also shot a couple of shulkers, but very quickly ran out of arrows, meaning I had to go fight.
I want to try and biscuit. Why is there a thing there? Okay, put water down. It's always good, just in case I need it. No. Okay, oh no, this is bad. This is very bad indeed. Very bad, go. Oh Nelly, Nora. Oh no. Oh no, this could be bad. Oh no. Okay, maybe we're fine, just for a minute.
And finally, for the very first time, I got an elytra. Oh, yes! Oh my god, look at us go! Oh, we look incredible! Yeah! Oh my god, I love this. Yes! Okay, let's try and land safely. Ooh, I remember that day was really important for me. I don't want to talk about YouTube and all that, but this was the first video I ever made to get 40 views. And for some reason, that seemed like it was more important for me. I don't know why, but that number felt pretty big. And I was so proud of this video.
Okay guys, so for today, we are going to be using a lot of cobblestone.
I then spent the next day planning out what I want the terrain above the cave to look like. Going into this, I really had no idea what I was doing, but that didn't stop me. I made a mini outline of where I wanted the hills to be, with a big gap right in the centre for where I want the entrance to be. And I spent a very long time, probably around 5 hours, filling it all in, which sounds like a long time, and it was, but putting on a podcast, zoning out, and nearly developing carpal tunnel, it made the time go by pretty quick, and you'll see that later on, these landscapes just keep getting bigger. To change things up though, I got to work on what I called the tube. I started off with cobblestone, trying to make it look as rocky as I possibly could, adding a mini gradient to dirt as it goes up, and for my first time trying to make a gradient, I don't think I did that bad. I then went around and linked up the tube to the terrain.
Okay, I think we've finished the tube. This is starting to all come together. It's starting to look really, really cool now.
At the moment though, this area looks pretty barren. So I made a path so I can section off where I want everything to go. After throwing down a bunch of saplings kind of haphazardly and a bit of grass here and there, it really built up the land pretty quickly. I also built a tiny river, which I think looks quite nice.
Okay, this is really starting to look like a forest. There's also a couple of beehives as well that have like spawned in naturally when making the trees. So, yeah, look at the guy.
Now, I haven't really explained this, and I don't even think I've put this in any of the videos, but I got the vast majority of these materials just from AFKing. I would balance a weight on the W key, and by reloading the textures, I could mine indefinitely. Yes, my shovel would break if I was mining dirt, so I got a lot of this by hand. In hindsight, this was a really stupid way of doing it, but it did work. And on the next day, I started work on a massive lake, making a very rough outline of the terrain around it. I then made another mini lake, very similar to the one we had just made, but this time, much smaller. Once again, a bit like earlier, I lava casted the cliffs, just as a temporary wall. I do intend on polishing them off, but for now, they should be fine as they are. I also made a path all the way up to the forest, connecting the mini path down to the lake, lava casting the sides once again, and then another path all the way down to the larger lake. I then finished off the day by adding a bit of water and filling in the large lake with dirt. So far with this project, my favourite bit has been adding in all the decorations like the paths, trees, grass and a bridge, mainly because it goes from being incredibly boring to looking like a fairly realistic forest. I also built a few islands, covered the entire lake with water, and finished off the cliffs to the smaller lake. This was probably one of the first few builds on this world that I was really happy about, however small the cliffs were. But I also noticed something weird was going on. Every now and again, I would spot these very small gaps in the world. I didn't really know where they were coming from, but that was until I saw an Enderman holding a block that he had just picked up. How dare he? So I had to install an anti-Enderman grief data pack. Don't really know what that is, but it should work. I took a mini break, spending the next few days trying to kill the Wither, killing a few of these skeleton guys for their skulls, getting back, preparing, spawning in the Wither, and...
Oh my god! Okay, oh this could be bad. Oh my god, this is bad. Oh my god, this is bad. Look at the explosion! Come on, man. Come on. I see you. I see you. Okay, go, 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 go. No, the sheep! No! Right, come on. Come on! Oh god, no. Right, don't even get, come on! Please just die, you stupid little... Come on, yes! We got it! Yes! We got it!
But it was around this time here though, where I realised I had made quite a big mistake. You see, I loaded up my world in version 1.19, because that was the newest version at the time, but the Superflat worlds are really bizarre. By doing that, nether portals, pillager outposts, and mineshafts will not spawn whatsoever, which kinda sucks. I don't really know why Superflat worlds generate so strangely, but turns out they do. And I found out a bit too late. So to distract myself, I'm going to build up mountains. I started right in the back corner, only focusing on the sides of the mountains I'm actually going to be looking at, because I figured there's no point in wasting resources on something I'm never actually gonna see again. So that's what I did. I would then link up the terrain to the base of the mountains, going over it with bone meal, trees, a tiny river, and going over the top with snow. Technically, white wool, but we can't get snow in Superflat, so white wool will have to do. Then I got to work on what was probably the most mind-numbing processes I ever had to go through in this entire series, which was placing down all the dirt for the plains biome just after the lake. I also had to build up a few more mountains to connect all the way across. For reference, this was about 4 months into the world, and I think I've got quite a lot done in that time, but I still had more left to do. Adding in around 8 mini mountains, connecting the terrain all the way up to the base of the mountains, adding in bone meal, grass, trees, and boom. Over the next month, I got to work on building up a castle, starting off with a courtyard wall. I'm not really too sure what this bit is called, but that's what I went with. I then started up building a couple of small tower things and a cool looking entrance. Oh no! Oh, crikey! Yeah, there's a couple of mobs behind there. How did I get shot? No! Oh, come on! I dedicated the next few days on working on making the castle. I had watched a few videos and tutorials on building and how to get better, which I think paid off. But there was something missing. This whole area could do with so many more decorations. I started off by adding a path, some flags, a blacksmith, grass, trees, leaves, and lanterns.
Okay, I think that looks a lot better now. I did also add in this little blacksmith here. I do think it looks quite nice, and we did flesh out a bit of the interior as well.
Over the next day, I went insane. I don't think I mentioned this in any of the videos, but I spent what must have been at least a solid few days just AFKing and collecting a ton of resources for these next builds. After finishing the castle, I moved on to the surrounding village, and I should probably say that these houses were built by following the tutorial by a guy called Mechatech. Eventually, I did get to a point where I didn't need to use the tutorials, but I think I just needed a helping hand to get started. I also added in a river, a bridge, campsite, paths, trees, grass, a watermill, a lumberjack house, and fully finished off the forest. I also had a go at making a plan on paper before building, which helped out surprisingly well. By following it, I was able to see how much more I had left to do, and it was quite liberating not needing to think about what I had to do next. I kinda just got into a good flow, put on a few podcasts, and kept building.
Okay, I think we are pretty much finished, and oh, that looks so cool. I love that. There were a couple of smaller pockets, a bit like this here and a little bit over here, that just look a bit barren and could just do with something being there. And so what I want to move on to now is I want to start adding in the details. I want to spice it up a little bit more and make it look a little bit cooler.
I mainly settled with grass, a few flowery spots, and adding in an odd cart or two. I then made a windmill and farmland to sit in between the lake and the village, pretty much finishing off this half of the main town. And from this point onwards, I really started focusing on the YouTube side of things, trying to make the best videos I possibly can, looking at different editing styles, watching hundreds of hours of YouTube advice. I also got a few books on filmmaking, which have actually helped out more than I first thought. But while doing all that, I also found a very interesting mod called Matica. Oh, wait, what? You don't know what Limatica is? Well, it's basically a schematic mod that allows players to build by visualizing a 3D hologram of the finished structure. It helps players gather all the required resources and allows them to see where each block should be placed. And from here, the videos just became more insane, starting off with my personal favourite video I've ever made so far, building myself in Minecraft. I started off taking a picture of myself, sending it over to an AI to convert it into a 3D model, opened it up in Blender and put myself into a cool looking pose, gave myself a cool looking sword, voxelized myself, don't really know what that means, opened myself in Minecraft, and boom. Then I had to get every single block we needed. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but one of them was obsidian. Now, the easiest way to get a lot of obsidian that I could think of was from the obsidian towers in the end. I spent around 4 hours collecting resources, then a further 6 hours building up the entire statue. And for the first time using Limatica, I don't think that's too bad. I mean, my face looks incredibly goofy, don't get me wrong, but I think that just adds charm to the build. That looks so cool. Oh, that looks so goofy. I love that. Now, in the process of collecting the resources for the previous build, we took down an obsidian tower. And that gave me an idea. An idea to destroy the entire end island. A pretty stupid idea, thinking back. But to do that, I had to spawn in all the end gateways, which was done by respawning and killing the ender dragon 20 times. And the way I was going to destroy the end was by using world eaters, a thing that I've never really done before, and I just wanted to give it a go. But if the machine were to even touch one of these obsidian towers, it would stop working, meaning they had to go. And after only 7 days, I got rid of them all. But then it was time to move on to building the world eater and finally letting it go. Today, I'm going to try to get every single possible advancement in Minecraft Superflat. And because this is a Superflat world, some of these achievements are literally impossible to get. So let's see just how many we can complete. Since I'm already in the overworld, I might as well try to get all of the main story advancements. These are all the easy ones like mining stone, smelting iron, building another portal, and enchanting an item. The hardest one on this list is curing a zombie villager. So, bing, bang, bong. And we've got almost all of the main story advancements. All we've got left is going into the end, and we are done. Some of you guys might have noticed that this end island doesn't look like an ordinary end island, and that is because in the last episode, we spent a very long time destroying it, removing all the obsidian pillars, all the bedrock, and exploding the end stone. The only problem is though, is that I completely forgot to pick up an ender dragon egg or ender dragon breath, both of which are needed for the end advancements. And that might not sound like an issue, but each time you respawn the ender dragon, all the obsidian pillars are respawned, meaning I've pretty much wasted 15 hours of my life mining obsidian for nothing. There we go. Oh gosh. Oh, actually that's the thing that we need. I can try and pick it up in the air, maybe. Oh god, that's not good to do. There we go. Okay, nice. That's an extra achievement we've done. Okay, it should be the last one. Gosh, I don't like doing that. Oh, nice. Another one. Oh gosh, no! Oh my god, we're so close. Please let come in now. Last one! There we go! Yeah! That might be the very last time we kill the ender dragon. Hopefully it is. I'm not going to be destroying those obsidian towers again. Okay, so how many do we have right now? So, we need to get the ender dragon egg. Where's the ender dragon egg? What am I meant to... Just right now, while editing this, I think I found out where the egg has gone. This is from a live stream from about 2 weeks ago. That is definitely the egg there, right? But going over a couple of frames, it's there, it's there, it's there, and it's gone. So who knows where the egg is, but anyway, let the video resume. Now we need to head off to an end city. I think we just have to go near to it, right? There we go. Now for the last and hardest advancement that we can get from the end. That being a great view from up here, where you have to move 50 blocks vertically with the levitation effect applied from shulkers. So I think from that water source there, all the way up to this block here, is exactly 50 blocks. So, the idea that I have right now is that I'm actually going to take this off and instead put the diamond chest plate on. Go down there to the bottom, hold the shield out, and get hit by the shulker box guys. You can kind of see them sticking their heads out every now and again. And we're going to be traveling from that block all the way up to this block here, and hopefully not dying in the process. Right, let's do this. Oh gosh, okay. Hit me! Hit me! I hope the shield didn't break in the meantime, because that would be really bad.
Still trying to make sure I don't take too much damage. We're doing okay though for now, I think. Doing alright, we're doing alright. God, there's a lot of them. Oh my god, there's so many. Eat! Oh god! Okay, let's make sure I still get hit. Let's make sure I still get hit. Doing fine. Block. I should get hit. Oh no. Please. Please, come on. We're so close. No! Oh no. God damn it. Let's try this again. Hit me! Okay. Starting. Oh my god, look how many there are! Oh my god! No! God, he travels so slowly in these. Come on. Please! No! Please, we're so close. Okay, one more can hit me. That's it. Come on! We're so close, please! Please, we're near there. Surely there. Yes! Let's go! God, oh my god, look at the shield durability. Oh my god, that was so close to running out. Oh my god. Okay, right, let's get back home. I am never doing that again. Oh my days. Now that we've got almost all of the end advancements, we can start to work on the nether advancements. The first one I want to get started with is getting a full suit of netherite armor. So I'm currently at Y level. Oh my god, okay, that was wow. That's a good start. So I'm currently at Y level 14 and I've got quite a few beds with me. So I want to try a method where you place as many beds as you can in a row and see how many netherite scraps you can get. And for all of the achievements, we're going to need 6 netherite ingots. Thankfully, we've already got 1. There's 2 back at the base, so that's 3 already, meaning we need 21 more. So let's just do this. Once we've picked up the ones back at the base, we should have exactly 24 ancient debris. So if we take the rest of the ancient debris, a bit of gold, now we need to start smelting these guys. Then pick up the pieces of netherite scrap, craft them into netherite ingots, and then upgrade the items. There we go. Oh, that looks really cool, damn. This is the first time actually wearing full netherite armor in this world. I'm actually going to leave the bits of armor here, just so that if I get mending, I can put them on and I don't have to worry about them breaking. Because if they were to break, I would have to do all of that again, and I don't want to do that again. So I'm going to leave them in the chest for now. And that is just one of the easier ones on this list done. Next, we have to go to a bastion remnant. So I headed back into the nether. On the way there, I killed the ghast with its own fireball, found a nether fortress, and accidentally stumbled into all 5 nether biomes. Hey! There are only 2 achievements that we can actually get from a bastion. One from entering one, and one from looting any of the bastion chests. After doing that, I then moved on to some of the more challenging tasks. For this next achievement, we have to take a strider, one of these guys, across 50 blocks over lava in the overworld. So I dug out this little gap, filled it in with lava, found a nearby strider, threw a saddle over it, and headed towards the nether portal. Alright, let's see if this works then. Come on. Hey, there we go. Ah, thank you, man. We'll leave this guy here then. Thank you, sir. And we'll get going. There is actually one more achievement we can do. If we pick this up, we can craft a respawn anchor. So what we can do is we can place down a respawn anchor and chuck in a bit of glowstone. Hey, there we go. I have no idea what this thing does, by the way. Anyway, that's another achievement done though. One of the achievements that we've got left is to craft a lodestone. There we go. Then get a compass and do that. There we go. That's another achievement. Country Load, take me home. What a good name that is. Oh my god. We are making a pretty good progress through the nether advancements. But the next one I want to work on is going to be Uneasy Alliance, where we have to bring a ghast from the nether into the overworld and then kill it, which sounds straightforward, but could quite easily be the hardest advancement in this entire video. And to do this, we're going to be using a lot of obsidian. And to say we've got a little bit of obsidian spare would be an understatement. So, the maximum nether portal size that you can have is 23 by 23. Okay, I think that is exactly 23 blocks. Okay, oh my god, that's massive. Okay, now all we need to do is get a ghast through this nether portal. And to do this, we're going to be using fishing rods to hook onto the ghast and move it very, very slowly. This is going to be painful. Oh no. No! Oh my god, it was right there. Come on, this could be it, please. No! God. Oh my god, please. No. Oh my god, why is it? Oh my god, come on. You're in the portal. You went through the portal! What? I don't get it. God, it's when it... Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. I'm actually losing my mind.
Oh, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Please. Oh. Yes! Oh, finally! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I never want to do that again. Oh, I'm so glad that one's done. Okay, all we have to do now is kill the wither. Oh my god, I need to lie down first. Oh my days. All we've got left for the nether advancements is to summon and kill the wither. So I got to a nether fortress and spent around half an hour killing wither skeletons until we finally had all 3 skulls. Then I headed back home and spawned in the wither. Alright, let's do this. That felt like that was a lot easier than the last time we did this. Oh my god. The last of the nether achievements that we can get is to finally construct and place down a beacon. There we go. So, I just managed to get all of these potions, and now we're going to try and get the Furious Cocktail achievement, where we have to have every single potion status effect active at one time. So, let's get started. Hey, there we go. Oh my god, look at all the effects. That looks insane. There is actually one more hidden achievement that we can't get, and that is How Did We Get Here, where you need every single status effect active, not just the potion ones. And that is the first achievement that we cannot get in Minecraft Superflat, mainly because we can't get Dolphin's Grace status effect, nor Conduit Power. And from this point on, it's going to get a lot harder to finish off some of these advancements. Ones like Be Our Guest, Wax On, Wax Off, The Power and the Bats, Best Friends Forever, Glow and Behold, Total Bee Location, Fishy Business, Tactical Fishing, A CD Place, and Serious Dedication are really straightforward and pretty easy to do. However, we can't get this achievement as we can't get rabbits, we also can't get Whatever Floats Your Goat as we don't have goats, we can't get these 2 ones as we don't have tadpoles nor frogs, and we can't get a balanced diet since we can't get raw rabbit food. And that leaves us with the last achievement in this section called Complete Catalogue, where you have to tame every single variant of cats, which is personally my favourite achievement in this entire game. Hey! Now that we've got every single husbandry achievement in Minecraft Superflat, we can start to work on the last section, the adventure section. Once again, there are quite a few easy achievements that we can kind of rattle off fairly quickly, like Bullseye, Sniper Duel, Arbalistic, Star Trader, Sweet Dreams, Old Bestie, What a Deal, Sticky Situation, and the Caves and Cliffs achievement. The next achievements I want to work on are going to be all the Pillager achievements. And to do this, we need to start a raid. And you might have noticed that I've already got the Bad Omen effect, so let's do this. I haven't actually done this before, so I don't exactly know what I'm doing, if you couldn't tell. Now, one of the achievements that we can do is we can also summon in an Iron Golem, I think. There we go. Okay, that might come in handy. Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh my god, go, 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 go. How the hell do you kill that? Oh gosh, go, go, go. Oh my god, that guy's strong. Okay, I gotta go up, gotta go up, gotta go up. Oh no. Okay, this could be bad, this could be bad, this could be bad. There we go. Oh gosh. Oh god, oh that was such a bad jump scare, oh my god. We also need to get a Totem of Undying as well, so I'm hoping it's one of them from this raid, hopefully. God, there's so many this time. Come on, yes, okay, I need to get that guy out quickly, because he would spawn in those Vex guys, that's good. Oh gosh, they're strong. God, they're so strong, it's so annoying to deal with as well. God, they're like bats, they're so difficult to hit. Oh my god, there's so many. Oh my god, good god, they're strong. There's 2 of them. Oh my god, it's gonna be difficult to do. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. How am I meant to do this? That's that guy at least. Oh gosh, go, 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 go. Okay, I've got like 2 illusion guys then. Last one, please, the last one. No way, there's another one. Oh, thank god. Oh, let's go. Oh, there we go. Finally. God, that was surprisingly tough. That was unbelievably tough, oh my god. Now that the raid is complete, we can finally start to work on the last 3 advancements. The first achievement is fairly straightforward, all we have to do is just jump off of this. Oh gosh, that's scary. Okay, these final 2 advancements are pretty straightforward to do. All we have to do is wait for a lightning strike, and kill 2 phantoms with 1 crossbow bolt. And that's it. After almost 3 weeks of achievement hunting, we've finally got every single possible achievement we can get in Minecraft Superflat. I need to go outside more. This is a Ghast, this is me, and that is a chicken. But today, we're going to do something that's never been done on YouTube before, as far as I'm aware. The goal for today is to take a Ghast from the nether to the overworld, into an end portal to the end, all the way across the void to one of the outer end islands, all so that a Ghast can visit an end city for the very first time. and hopefully not losing my mind in the process. Stage 1 in this master plan was to get everything ready for the Ghast. You see, Ghasts are pretty big and very annoying to deal with, a bit like me, and since Ghasts aren't meant to go into the end, we have to make everything Ghast friendly. This involves making nether portals bigger so Ghasts don't suffocate, destroying the end portal frame so Ghasts can actually fit into the end, using minecarts because Ghasts don't fit into boats for some reason, placing minecarts 3 blocks in the air because Ghasts don't go into them otherwise, all the things I probably should have tested beforehand. Now it should all be prepped that once we get a Ghast through this nether portal, he'll be instantly teleported into the overworld, straight into the end, and placed in a minecart. Hopefully. There was actually a hidden achievement you can get in Minecraft where you have to bring a Ghast into the overworld and then kill it. And in the last episode, we did just that. We got every achievement including that one. And in that video, I said I would never be doing this again. And here we are, doing it again. But the reason why this is so annoying is because the only way to move the Ghast is by using fishing rods to hook onto the Ghast and move it very, very slowly towards the portal. But added on to that, we also have to use a name tag, just so that when it's going through dimensions it doesn't despawn or do anything stupid like that, because doing it all over again would not be fun. So, let's get started. Ah, God. Okay, this could be it. Name tag. Okay, there you go, that's one thing done. Then try and bring this guy down. Oh, God, yes, come on, yes, please. No, pull one out. Come on, please. No! It went through him! Ah, for God's sake. No! Don't go away! Why? No! Oh, it was so close. Work with me here. Trying to show you an experience of a lifetime. Come on. My mouse! Why is it... No! Please. You're so close. You're so... Please. Oh, please work. Please tell me it worked. Ah, wait, it worked. Oh my God, it worked. Jeez, I am never doing that again. Oh God, I did lie down after that. I'm just in spectator right now because I thought that the Ghast was in a bit of a weird position, and turns out he kind of is. When the Ghast spawned in, he must have destroyed these blocks here, meaning that he kind of fell down onto the platform. He's still in a minecart, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place down a ton of railings below it, destroy this obsidian floor, hoping that it'll fall onto it, and it will have a Ghast on a minecart on a rail. Then we were ready for stage 2, which is a bit more peaceful. Now that we've already got Gary in a minecart, it's going to be pretty easy to show him everything the end has to offer, whether that's going to an end city, a chorus fruit field, or even on the top of an end ship. But there's also one more thing I want him to do. I want him to try to kill the Ender Dragon. Something that I don't think any Ghast has ever done in Minecraft. But we'll get onto that a bit later. Firstly, I had to find an end city. One of these things. And because Ghasts are fairly big and can't easily fit into an end gateway, we had to spend a very fun 3 hours bridging out thousands upon thousands of blocks away towards one. I then duplicated a ton of railings, placed them all down, did the same thing for the chorus fruit field and the end ship, then managed to loop it all the way back around, back to where we started. Alright Ghasty, are you ready for the experience of a lifetime? Alright, let's do this. Oh gosh, no, there we go, he's off. Okay, there we go, nice. Oh god, I'm worried that's gonna happen. Because if he fireballs his own rail, then that would be, that would not be good. He's doing alright though. I don't want to like punch the fireballs as well. Because if by chance that I hit the Ghast, oh god, could you imagine, that would be awful. Doing all this again. We're already near the outer end islands. That is pretty good. There we go, this is the first Ghast in a chorus fruit field. Ah, look at him go. This is so cool. Oh god. And we're so close to the entity as well. So close. I'm actually a bit worried about this part here. There's a lot of like turns and bends and all that. Seems to be doing okay. Oh, look at him go! Come on, please work. Yes! Oh god, thank god. Okay, off to an end ship. Come on. For the first Ghast to be at an end ship. Come on, there we go! On the top of an end ship. Oh, it's so cool. Come on, yeah! Look at him fly! Oh, it's so cool. Oh, I love that. Okay, now I'm gonna make sure he gets back safely without anything awful happening. Okay, just before the Ghast gets here, I want to try and destroy some of these blocks here, just so that he can kind of like stop. Okay, has he stopped? I think he stopped. Okay, I'm so surprised there wasn't a single Enderman on the track. While building the rail, there was so many Endermen I had to push past. Then doing that, there was hardly any. In fact, I don't even think there was one. That was actually really cool. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, on to stage 4. The fight. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to get the Ghast and the dragon to fight. And like with most things, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Unsurprisingly, there's very little information on whether or not Ghasts can even kill the dragon in Minecraft. Probably because this has never been done before, meaning the only way to find out is to do it. So that's what I did. I crafted some end crystals, used them to respawn the ender dragon, destroyed all the crystals around, then it was over to the Ghast.
Okay, that's all of them gone, I'm pretty sure. And the Ghast looks to be fine. Okay, now we've got the tricky bit. The only way to do damage to the dragon is pretty much hoping it gets hit by the fireballs. I think this is the only way for us to do damage to the dragon. So this might take a while, but we'll, hopefully we'll get there soon. Ooh, it did damage then. Nice. That's one hit. Ooh, good grief. God, we're still not even halfway. Oh my god, it's gonna take forever. I'm kind of running out of food a bit. I've only got a stack and a half left, but apart from that, we should be good. Okay, you can see how much damage it's doing. It is not doing a lot. So I should keep doing that for another 300 times. Okay, at least we made a start though. This is like about a third of the way there, it looks. God, we're not even halfway through. This is going to take forever. Good grief. It looks as though we're about halfway. Maybe a bit above that, actually. Ah, God, we've got to do all that again. Good grief. This might take a while. Okay, this isn't bad though. We're making progress. Albeit very slowly, but we are making progress. And that's better than nothing, at least. Okay, we're starting to get a bit close now. Still got a bit of a ways left, but we're getting there. Come on! A little bit left. Ah, no. I reckon 5 more perches and it's gone. That's my guess right now. Come on, it's so close now. This might be it. Come on. Come on. No! Oh my god! Come on! Yes! Let's go! Ghast, we did it! Oh my god! Oh, let's go! That's it, it's all done! Oh god. But there you go, that's the first Ghast ever in Minecraft to kill an ender dragon. I am never doing that again.
After all this, I couldn't just leave Gary in a minecart on his own in the end. I had to bring him back home. And this was actually surprisingly difficult. You see, the only way to get him back into the nether is through this portal here. But I don't even know if Ghasts can go through this. And even if they can, where will they go back to? The world spawn? My bed? The stronghold? I seriously had no idea. So I went and tested it. Turns out there's only one, and one way only, to get him through this portal. And it's pretty risky. But if we even want a shot of bringing Gary back home, this is the only way to do it. We need to make sure that once Gary goes into the portal, into the overworld, he can't escape and just run away from us. And it's actually really easy to get Gary back into a minecart. Since entities spawn back at exactly 0, we can capture him in the exact same way as we did teleporting him into the end island. We just need to use bedrock breakers to destroy this center pillar here, and these outer red blocks. Now that that's done, we can take out a huge chunk of the land, and find a way to place Gary right in the centre of this 5x5 area. And this bit here is the sketchy bit. We need to break this minecart and use fishing rods to pull him up through this gap here in the portal, and praying that Gary doesn't go through blocks or suffocate in them. And in theory, this should work. Okay, I think we're ready to bring him back. I have prepped it so that it should all be ready in the overworld, but I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, Ghasty, I hope you're ready. Let's do this. Okay, he's off. That's a good start. Okay, I'll try and hook the guy. Make sure I don't get killed in the process. No! Oh god, please! Just don't go to him! This is so weird. Okay, come on. There we go. Okay. Oh god, okay. Oh, please tell me it worked. Okay, it worked. Oh god. Okay, so all we need to do now is break these 2 blocks here, and hopefully this should... Oh, please tell me it worked. Why are you here? Okay, anyway, please tell me it worked. Oh god. Yes, there we go. Oh my god, bug off slime. Oh, look at him go. Wait, which one was he? No! We've all seen those 100 days videos where someone boots up a brand new world and tries to beat the game for the first time, and build a cool looking base in the process. But I was curious to see how much you can actually get done in 100 days in a pre-existing world. I've had this world for about 6 months, and in that time we've managed to tally up 1,899 days. And it's just about to turn night, so when we sleep it'll be day 1,900. And once I woke up, I instantly got to work. On day 1, I built a general outline using dirt of the area I wanted to build. The main goal for these 100 days is to make this side of the village look just a bit better. I then spent days 2 to 5 placing dirt down, filling up the area we had just made. I'd actually spent the past week planning and collecting a bunch of resources just for this video. And as you can see, we've got quite a lot to play around with. On day 6, I headed back to refill on dirt and fireworks, and I noticed that there were Christmas themed chests. I never knew this was a thing, and it was actually a really nice surprise. But after that, I continued filling dirt down on the opposite side, and after fighting off hordes of zombies on day 8, I continued placing the dirt down until we had finally finished on day 13.
Oh my god, finally we're done. Oh, that took so long. And you can see the grass is slowly starting to cover over the dirt. So what I'm going to do to speed it up a bit is I'm going to throw down a little bit of grass blocks. And that should speed up the process quite a bit. Alright, that is almost a stack down, and that should speed it up a little bit.
I decided that I wanted some mountains to cut across the land we had just placed down, a bit like what we've already done on the opposite side. So on day 14, I made a basic and quick outline of the mountains. I put on a couple of podcasts and started placing down the stone. Halfway through, I got attacked by a horde of zombies again. What is going on? But anyway, I continued until day 19, where I noticed that the vast majority of the dirt had finally turned to grass blocks. While finishing off some detailing, I realised that the current farm hasn't even fully grown after 3 months. I don't tend to go in this area too often, so this probably explains why it's taken so long to grow. On day 21, I removed a couple of spruce trees that were kind of in the way of where I wanted to build next. Once they were gone, I started to carve out a path where I wanted the river to be. At the end of the day, I started to place down a couple of bits of dirt for the river bed. I continued this throughout the next day until a creeper scared me and I went to bed and waited for the mobs to despawn. On the following day, I started to build up the water, and a wandering trader also showed up, but he didn't really have too much, so I did what was necessary. And then on day 24, I'd finally finish off the river. On the next day, I found this really cool windmill design by a guy called Mechatech, and I think it would fit in perfectly with the rest of the map. So far in this world, I've only made one biome, and I think it's getting a bit repetitive. So today, I wanted to change that. On day 28, I attempted to build an old growth pine taiga biome, and after dedicating 2 days to building it up and throwing down a couple of bits of grass and smaller boulders just to make it look a bit more crowded, it really did feel like it was finished. On the next few days, I placed down a couple of paths connecting the farmhouse to the rest of the village, using the exact same path design as we've used in other videos. Then from days 34 all the way up to day 40, I started placing down the surrounding farmland, and this actually took so much longer than I first thought. I spent day 41 tidying up this untouched area next to the pond, and turned it into a little garden area. Definitely not because I ran out of saplings to fill in this area. On day 42, I decided to start something that I've kind of been putting off for the past 3 months. That being, finishing off these cliffs. At the moment, they're kind of just big slabs of cobblestone, and could really do with a makeover. So I launched up a creative copy of the world, and started messing around with it in World Edit, until I made a couple of cool outlines, retextured it, and imported the design into the world. Once the design was slotted into place, I started to build up the cliffs using a thing called Limatica's Easy Place, which makes building 10 times easier. Instead of accurately placing each block in the right place, all you need to do is hold down the right mouse button and go over each block. In this mode, it cycles through the correct block in your inventory for you, so it really speeds up the building process. And not gonna lie, I kind of wish I knew about this easy place mode beforehand, as this would have been incredibly useful for building up earlier projects. I continued building until day 47, where I finished off the first cliff. I then set up the schematic for the next cliff, picked up some more rockets, replenished my pickaxe as I realised a lot of cobblestone needs to be destroyed before we can start building the next cliff. So on day 48, I started chipping away at the cliff. I was also visited by a wandering trader, but once again, he didn't really have too much to offer, so like last time, I did what was necessary. And at this point here, on day 50, we are officially halfway through the challenge. And it was here where disaster struck. No! Cock. After recovering the vast majority of my stuff, I continued mining away the cliffs, and by day 52, we had got rid of everything that needed to be destroyed. I then spent the next 6 days finishing off the cliff, and I think it turned out really well. Then on day 59, I covered up a bit of the lake with dirt so that a path could run in between the lake and the cliff. I also found a bit of extra time in the day to deepen part of the lake. On the next day, I built up a path leading along the cliff and threw down a bit of seagrass in the lake. On day 61, I noticed that there was a random carrot in the wheat field. I have no idea how this got here, so I changed it out. I then headed back to the base and used the mob farm to grind for a bit of XP to replenish my elytra and shovel. After doing that, I then headed back and started to work on a bridge. I found a pretty decent design by F-Whip and kind of wanted to build it in this world. So I dedicated the next 3 days to do just that. I spent the next few days placing down a couple of paths and decorating the area with trees and grass. I also made this little beach area, and this was the first time building with sand in this world, which was quite fun. On day 69, I made an outer wall to an extra farmland area I wanted to build, and on the next day I finished that off. I then spent the next few days finishing off paths, adding in some extra trees and grass, just to fill up some of the empty spaces. On day 75, I wanted to build up some more beaches like what we did earlier on the banks of the lake. So I made my way to an end duper, duplicated some sand, and made my way back to the base. I then placed all the sand down. On day 77, I wanted to make this lake look a bit more like a lake, so I loaded up up a creative copy of the world and used world edit to make a very simple lake bed design. Textured it using dirt and coarse dirt, I then slotted the design into place. But in the meantime, I had realised that I had to drain this entire lake before we could start building. And since we can't get sponges in Superflat, the only feasible way to do this is by placing blocks and then destroying them. And I had to dedicate 8 days to do this. Finally, on day 86, I was able to start building up the lake, and this was actually really satisfying to do. And after 2 days, we were ready to place down all the water. Surprisingly, you only need 2 buckets of water to do this. And from what I found, the easiest way to do this is to start from the lowest layer and go up once the lower layer is finished. And I was working on this non-stop until day 93, where it was finally done. Then it was day 94, and these next few days went by really quickly, and there were still quite a few things I wanted to get done. The first thing I wanted to get done was place down bits of seagrass at the bottom of the lake floor, but I also put down a few pieces of crying obsidian just to make the lake glow a bit more at night, and blended it in with a bit of grey concrete. On day 95, I built a mini dock on the side of the lake, and dedicated the next few days building up a mini boat in the middle of the lake. And this design was inspired by a creator called Nexi, and I thought it would fit in quite nicely with the rest of the world. Through days 98 and 99, I wanted to build a couple of smaller structures, like wagons, hay bales and barrels, just to finish off the area and make it feel a bit more complete. And before I realised it, it was day 100, and I spent this entire day looking at everything we've built in this short span of time. In Minecraft, there are 3 types of builds: structures, terrain, and organics. And so far in this world, we've definitely covered structures, and we've built quite a few terrain features. But I'm still yet to create an organic build, mainly because they're arguably the hardest thing to build in this entire game. And I've been mentally preparing myself for a while now, and I think I'm ready. Since the world I've been building up has a medieval theme to it, it would only make sense to finish off the trope with a dragon, perched on the top of a mountain, breathing fire down onto the city, which I think would look quite nice. So I booted up a brand new creative world and set out to build the greatest dragon in all of Minecraft. Okay, so it's not great. In fact, the first one I made is probably better than this, but ignoring that, I started practicing more, putting in a ridiculous number of hours into building, looking at tutorials, different build styles, various methodologies to building, texturing, how to use colour effectively, gradients, joining Discord servers of the greatest builders of all time, and soon after that, I thought I was ready. So I booted up that same creative world and started building again. Alright, I am so happy with how that turned out. I think that looks so cool. There are still a couple of finishing touches we could do with adding, but apart from that, I think it's nearly ready. And I think we can all agree that this build here is a lot better than the first one we made. Well, once I was happy with it, I loaded up the Superflat world and slotted the design right into place. And using Litematica, we can see every block that we need, and there's quite a few. Conveniently, we've already got a bunch of these materials. From past projects, we've got a backlog of sandstone, grey concrete, grey wool, black concrete and black wool, and just enough birch logs, which instantly ticks off half of our shopping list. The next few things we need to get done are all the stuff in the nether, and there's actually quite a few things we need. So I picked up my pickaxe, crafted an axe, and headed through the portal. From the nether, we needed 1,200 bits of netherrack, 360 nether bricks, 230 crimson hyphae, 120 blocks of quartz, and a few pieces of shroom lights. Next was all the stuff in the overworld. The first thing I got was a bunch of oak wood, which we needed 800 blocks of. After that, I built a mini platform to farm mushrooms at and got to work. I then spent about an hour building this farm and farming a bunch of mud, which we're going to need it to craft with wheat, and eventually turn it into packed mud. I also used the rest to make terracotta, mixed it in with a couple of bits of red dye, and eventually we were ready to start building. But before we do that, I had to destroy this part of the mountain. Then we were ready to start building.
Alright, I think that looks pretty good. I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. But the next thing to work on is to make it look as if this dragon is actually on some rocks. At the moment, his legs are kind of like in the air, and his feet are kind of like hanging off, and it doesn't really make too much sense. So we might as well just get started. So this last one will be quite difficult to do because it's in a bit of a weird position. And I don't think I'm going to be able to make it look as if he's on the mountain because of where it is. So my plan is just to kind of cover it up and hope no one notices. But as long as no one finds out, we should be fine. So don't tell anyone. Okay, that should do. I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, so the next bit to work on is probably going to be the tail. At the moment, it kind of just ends abruptly. So the idea that I have right now is for it to kind of like curve around the mountain, having it curve all the way around the mountain and then kind of like end about here-ish. I think that would look quite good. And we've still got quite a lot of resources left over, so let's use all of this up and finish off the tail. So I did just that, and after spending about 10 minutes fixing up the tail, it was done. The next thing I wanted to work on was building up the first dragon we made. I think it looks quite funny, and I think I've just got to add it into the world. So I saved it as a schematic again, and slotted the build just below the dragon, and got to work building it up. And after a few minutes, it was finished. The final thing I wanted to add was some fire, and I figured the best way to do this would be by using red, orange, and yellow stained glass. So I picked up a bunch of sand that we got from the last episode and spent a very fun 15 minutes waiting for it all to finish cooking. Crafted it into stained glass and paint, and we were ready to start building up the fire breath. And I am so happy with how it turned out. Vincent van Gogh. One of the greatest painters of all time, with some of his art now going for hundreds of millions of dollars. And today, I'm gonna make it my mission to join him by recreating his most famous painting in Minecraft. The easiest way I found to do this is by using Litematica, which pretty much tells you exactly where you need to place each block, making projects like this actually feasible to complete. But first, I need a schematic. Then I stumbled across Starry Night, one of his most famous paintings, sent it to a pixel art generator and opened it up in a creative world. In the painting itself, there is one slight mini issue though. Some of the blocks in the painting are physically impossible to get in Superflat. Blocks like prismarine, sponges, and ores aren't a thing in Superflat at all, so I had to quickly change them out and replace them. Technically, we could also get diamond blocks, but look, am I really going to get 200 blocks of diamond for this build? The answer is absolutely not. And after replacing it with some more achievable blocks, we were ready to send the design into Litematica and open the schematic into the world. Then all we had to do was collect every single block that we needed, and good God, we need a lot. And by a lot, I mean just over 16,000 blocks. Now that is quite a lot. To start things off, I wanted to collect all the blocks in the end. Why? Good question. Anyway, all we needed was a couple of bits of endstone, crafted some of it into end bricks, and for the very first time, picked up some purple blocks and pillars. On the way back, I also picked up a couple of bits of obsidian, and I then moved on to collecting all of the masonry blocks, as I figured this would probably be one of the more awkward sections to finish off. For the most part, we already had a bunch of stone left over, so it was mainly a matter of crafting it and smelting it into all the blocks we needed. It was kind of like a mini treasure hunt, finding and collecting all the blocks we need, which was actually kind of fun. But one thing I didn't quite have enough of was diorite, and I found out fairly recently that you can craft both diorite and andesite. So I headed to the nether, picked up some quartz, and eventually turned it into polished diorite and polished andesite, ticking off every masonry block we needed for the painting. While I was there, I figured I might as well pick up all the blocks we needed from the nether, and surprisingly there's only 5 main things we need. A bunch of quartz to turn into quartz pillars, and a few smooth quartz blocks, and a few smooth quartz blocks. Oh my god. We need a ton of bone blocks, and we need 65 nether bricks, and finally 44 red nether bricks. The next major thing I wanted to work on was getting all of the wood blocks. But from previous projects, we've kind of already got a bunch of these materials already. The main thing we needed was spruce logs. So I spent a very fun 20 minutes chopping trees down until we finally had all the wood we needed. Then I felt like it was time to work on one of the more difficult blocks to get, which was concrete. And boy oh boy, we need a lot of it. Predominantly black, blue, and light blue concrete. But the thing is, concrete is kind of weird.
Since it's a gravity block, we can make an end duper, one of these things, along with a chunk loader. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea how this works. I just watched this guy's tutorial, followed it block by block, and even then it still didn't really work. Faffed around with it for a couple of minutes, and boom, it worked flawlessly, I think. All we have to do now is wait. And wait. And oh my god, this is incredibly fast. This farm is incredible. Like, seriously, if you don't have this in your world, please, dear god, make one. And I've only built half of this farm, meaning we can literally get double the output. Now that was impressive. And after AFKing for about 5 minutes, I was able to convert all the concrete powder into usable solid concrete blocks. The last major thing we needed was wool, and we need just under 4,000 blocks worth of wool. Originally, I was planning on building some type of wool farm and AFKing for a while, and we will eventually, but I think there might be an easier way to do this. Since the painting is horizontal, we can just use carpets and achieve the exact same effect. And carpets are much easier to get. If we make this mini farm machine thingy and spam it a bunch of times, it duplicates an absolute ton of carpets. Why? I don't know, I think it's a bug. But soon after, we quickly finished off every wool carpet block we needed. And from this point onwards, it's going to be pretty easy to get the rest of the blocks we need. All that's left are the kind of awkward blocks that we only need a couple of bits of. Things like a couple of blocks of terracotta, 1 block of bricks, a few pieces of soul sand, 1 singular block of netherrack, and a bunch of other fairly random blocks. The hardest few things we needed to get was just over a stack of hay bale blocks, half a stack of iron blocks, quite a lot of gold blocks, and just under 100 blocks of emeralds. And surprisingly, these last few final blocks took just under 3 days to get, which I actually think is pretty good going. I'm pretty sure we have every single block that we need, and this is the past 8 days, I think, of my life has been dedicated into making these so many shulker boxes. So, finally, let's get started building it. Okay, so it's been about an hour, and you can see we've kind of got the vast majority of the sky done. The next few things I want to get done is getting these, like, stars done. There's quite a few of them, and it would be good to get them all done and kind of crossed off so that this entire sky is done. So I guess we'll get started doing that then. Okay, so I think we've got the vast majority of the solid blocks done. But I think the next thing to work on is going to be finishing off the carpets. Obviously, we've got the carpet blocks that we're going to be using to place it down, but I'm not sure how it's going to work. Like, we can't place it there, so we're going to have to place a random block down. So we're probably going to use netherrack, I reckon, and then place carpets above that. Okay, well, I guess that works. That might take a while to get done, though, but we can get started with that then. God, this is going to take forever to do then. Oh my gosh. And it's done. I'm pretty sure that is every carpet block down. Done and dusted. And going through this, I've realised I've missed quite a few concrete blocks. So I'll have to go back and just finish off them once we've got the next bit done. But speaking of the next bit, I want to get started on finishing up the concrete powder. I'll be honest, I kind of thought I'd never get this video done. It felt like it was taking so long to make progress, but now it feels like we're actually starting to get somewhere. Obviously, we can't just place the blocks as they are, like here, because they'll fall all the way down to the bottom. So if we have a block in front and then on top of that, that should be fine. I can't think of an issue so far that might cause, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So we'll get started on the concrete powder then. Okay, so I think we're done, and it does look pretty weird having all these blocks up here now, but I think it's done.
And it actually got done a lot faster than I thought it would have, to be honest. I thought this might have taken a couple of hours to do, but no, it only took about half an hour, which is actually pretty good going. There were quite a few bits of concrete that I've kind of left, and the odd bit of cobblestone and wood, so it'd be good to get that all ticked off, and then this build will be pretty much done. So, I guess we might as well just do it. Oh, this is gonna take a long time to get done. Okay, I think it's done. At the end, it didn't take as long as I first thought. It still looks crazy from here. But the next thing we need to do is get a map. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, that's a map. We have a map. Assuming that I've got this build in the right place, which I'm sure I have, and I haven't made a mistake doing it, we should be able to open up the map, and it should fit perfectly. Oh god, I hope I haven't made a mistake with this. Oh, nice. Oh, that looks sick. Oh, damn. Okay. And finally, after a month of building, it's finally done. Ah. That looks alright. One day, I was playing on my Superflat world when I wanted to switch servers and play on Hypixel. And that got me thinking, instead of needing to log out and log back in again onto a different server, why can't I just rebuild Minecraft's largest server and play it from the comfort of my own world? So that's what I'm doing. Obviously, I can't rebuild the entire server with every single map, because that would take a long time. So instead, I'm going to rebuild my most favourite Hypixel Bedwars map, Lighthouse. I don't know what it is about this map, I just really like it. Maybe it's the cool looking trees, or maybe it's a little lighthouse right in the centre of the map. I just like it. So now that I've picked out the build, now we've got the fun part. We have to collect every single block for this build. And boy oh boy, we need a lot of blocks. I think the first thing I want to get is going to be the sand. Because looking around, the entire place is covered in it. And we're going to need about 50,000 blocks of it. Some of it for sandstone, some of it for stairs and slabs, and some just for regular old sand. But sand is very easy to get. You see, we can use an end duper, one of these things, along with a bit of sand that we got from a wandering trader, placing it all down, press this lever, and this, and boom! We should be getting a ridiculous amount of sand. And for the record, don't ask me how this works, because I don't know. Now all that we have to do is AFK here for a few minutes. And there we go. That should be all the sand that we need. The next thing I want to try and get is going to be all of the stone blocks. And we're going to need just under 40,000 blocks, which is quite a lot. Thankfully, in the past video, we built this, a cobblestone generator with TNT dupers, and not gonna lie, it's kind of ridiculous how fast this generates cobblestone. And while that's going, I'm gonna try and build an auto smelter, something that I probably should have done ages ago, and this should allow us to constantly smelt blocks without needing to manually restock on fuel, which makes my life so much easier. After letting the vast majority of the cobblestone smelt, all that was left was to craft all the stone into the blocks that we need, mainly bricks, stairs, slabs, and smooth stone. The next thing I want to try and get is going to be all of the wood blocks, and because we've already got all the saplings, all we need to do is spend a bit of time mining away hardly any birch, just over a stack of wood, a decent amount of jungle, and quite a lot of spruce logs. But also, in addition to getting the jungle logs, we also needed the leaves, and we're going to need just over 2,000 leaves, which is actually quite a lot. Thankfully, using shears, leaves are instantly destroyed, which makes us a bit faster, and after spending only about a few days chopping trees, we had pretty much every single wood block we needed. At this point here, I thought it would be a pretty good time to start work on one of the more awkward blocks to get, which was wool. Each team on the map has their own colour, either red, blue, yellow, lime, pink, grey, white, and cyan. And over the past few months playing this world, I've already collected every single one of the dyes that we need. So all that I needed to do was dye the sheep and wait for them to keep growing the wool. I did end up using the wool farm, but only for grey and cyan wool. You see, we need quite a lot of grey wool, not just for the team colour, but also for the stone. Similarly, we also need the cyan wool to replace the prismarine blocks on the islands. And after a very riveting few hours, we had every single wool block that we needed. Next up on the list was getting every single block we needed from the nether. I first got all the easy stuff, like 56 shroom lights, a stack or two of nether brick fences, about a stack of gravel, and a little bit of glowstone. Then I got to work getting the quartz. So I'm going to try and build a piggling bartering farm. One teeny tiny issue though, I have no idea how to build one, so I'm going to watch a tutorial quickly. Now all we need to do is throw in a bit of gold, which I don't have any of. I need to get a lot more gold.
Awesome, now that we've got a gold farm, all we have to do is AFK for an hour and see how much we can get. You know what, that might actually be enough. All that's left is to then convert the quartz into diorite and finally into andesite. With the leftover quartz, I was able to turn it into quartz blocks, stairs and slabs, and that's pretty much everything we need from the nether. And that leaves us with just 2 blocks left to get. Cyan terracotta and red terracotta. From a previous video, we've easily got enough red terracotta, so that's going to be pretty easy to tick off. But the 4,000 blocks of cyan terracotta won't be so easy. We can use one of the farms we made from the last episode to turn the mud into clay, salt the clay blocks into terracotta, and finally dyed it into cyan terracotta. And after a very fun few hours, we got every single block that we needed. I mean, knowing me, I've probably missed something, but I'm gonna get started building it. We have been busy, and I've got a bunch of resources that we're gonna try and probably get through. Maybe not all of it. Hopefully not all of it. I'd like to use a bit of it for another video. Okay, I want to try and land on this though. Oh gosh. And I guess we may as well just start on the main island. We're going to be doing this for quite a while. Ooh, sandstone. That means we're getting fairly close to like the top of the island, which is a good sign. You know what? I might actually just not bother doing the center of this in stone. I'll still do like a little outliney bit, not like all the way through, because you know what's the point? And boom. You know what? I'd say for today, that's been some pretty good progress. Not gonna lie, I probably should have explained this earlier. But obviously, I cannot build this from memory. I'm really not that smart. So instead, I'm using a mod called Litematica. Oh, wait, you don't know what Litematica is? Well, it's basically a 3D hologram that shows you exactly where you need to place and build each block. With a convenient stick, you can move your holograms with ease and rotate them however you need. But building was going pretty good, you know? I got to work on these 4 identical islands that surround the main build, which for the most part was pretty easy. One of the more annoying caveats to building up these islands is that every single time I run out of stone or concrete or wool or anything, I would have to dart all the way back to the chests, pick up more blocks, go back to the island, realise I forgot a couple of blocks, head back, pick up more blocks and continue building. Rinse and repeat for a couple of hours until we had finished 4 islands. And I'll tell you what, I think it's starting to look pretty good. I mean, we've still got quite a bit more left to do, but we've been busy. Building up each of these islands take around about half an hour to get done, which isn't too bad, you know? It could be better, but it's not that bad. There is one slight mini issue that I'm still yet to kind of fix. These leaf blocks keep decaying, and I don't know how to get around it. I don't even know if you can, and so I'll place them in, and then a few minutes later, they'll just break again, and I don't know what to do. I can't keep them there, because they'll just decay. And there's quite a few that are starting to decay as well, but the next thing I want to work on though is probably going to be these like islands here though on the side. I want to leave the team bases to the end because I've got a feeling they're going to be the hardest bit to make. So I want to try and save my sanity for as long as I can and leave it to last. So I'm going to try and get to work on these islands here. So yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. And cue the epic time-lapse music. Okay, that time-lapse might have been a bit over the top, but it's done. And this build looks so much better now that we've got those little islands done. We've still got these little mini islands here left to go, which will probably take about 20 minutes to do each. So that might take a while, but we're getting there, which is always good. And in probably a couple of hours, this whole project will be done, which is pretty cool. So, without further ado, let's get started building. Bam! Transition time. Okay, things are going pretty good. 4 of the 8 team islands are completely done. And that leaves us with these last 4, and then we're done.
Finally, oh my gosh. So I'm probably going to get restocked on a couple of items and then return back and continue building. Let's do this. And I think we are done. Okie dokie. That didn't actually take as long as I first thought. But there is still one more thing that we can get done, which is going to be like these little slab bits here. There is also a little bit of glass that I've missed, which we can get done fairly quickly and it shouldn't take too long to get done. And we've got to do this for every single team base, which might take a while, but let's get started. And that means all that we have to do now is turn off the Lightmatica and see what this looks like. Alright, let's do this. How do we do this? Is it, oh, damn, that looks pretty cool. Oh, that actually looks sick. Oh, that looks so much better without the Lightmatica thing on it. God, that looks so cool. Oh my god, I'm so happy with how that turned out. Well, that's the build done. Oh my gosh.
About a year ago, I started a Superflat world, and it's been pretty fun. We built a dragon, a massive lake, forests, all above the ground. It looks pretty weird, I know, but there's one thing that I've been putting off since day one, and that is building a house. Technically, I've been living in this renovated villager house that we took from this guy, and I think he's had enough of me. Meaning, I need to build something much better, and I'm pretty bad at getting things done. So I'm giving myself just 3 days to build the entire thing. This includes designing the build, getting whatever resources we might need, then building the whole thing in 72 hours. Starting now. I've got a few options on where to live. I was thinking maybe on top of the floating island we built about 10 months ago, or maybe the plains biome, or maybe the castle. I built this thing a while ago, but never really finished it all off. I mean, the exterior, for the most part, is okay, but the interior, on the other hand, really isn't great. Look, I haven't even bothered to remove the literal side of the cliff that's just been left there. There's a lot of work that needs to get done, but I feel like we can make this look really cool. But before we even start building, I need to go into creative mode. This isn't the survival world, by the way. Probably should have said that. This is just a creative copy. Alright, I'm gonna go build something. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. One thing I did know though was that the side of the cliff had to go. After that, I had to go at making a U-shaped staircase. I didn't really know what colour to go with, so I ended up using granite. Don't worry, I'll change it. I hate the colour too, but for now, that's what I've got. Next up was the throne room. Once again, I didn't really know what I was doing, so I kind of winged it, making a general shape and colours, which I know I'll change, but at the moment, I don't really know what I'll change it to. I had a quick look at some castle concept art and interior designs, which helped out quite a lot to be honest, particularly for some of the later bits. Then I got to work on the general shape of the main room. Some wooden struts and pillars, laying out where I want the staircases to go and lead up to the upper floor. I made a dining area, a mini corridor bit, making the roof look a bit better, and adding in some decorations in the storage and library. The next thing I did was a bit different. I was really happy with the designing bit so far. I mean, some of these rooms look pretty good, apart from the throne room. Now, I need this to look good. This is going to be the main centerpiece of the entire house, and it definitely can't look like this. And I'll be honest, I got pretty stuck here. I really didn't know where to go with this room, until I found a castle by a builder called Cara Rose, and I really liked their design. But there was a few things I wanted to change, like making the room a bit larger, changing the red carpet a bit, then loaded it up into a creative copy of the Superflat world, where I replaced the wall colour to a more fitting stone texture, and I ended up lowering the circular window on the far side of the wall just a bit. And after adding in some finer details, I fully finished off the design. Am I done? I think I'm done. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be able to remember exactly where to place every single block for the entire build. So, I'm going to be using a mod called Lightmatica. And, oh, wait, what? You don't know what Lightmatica is? Well, it's basically a schematic mod that allows players to build by visualizing a 3D hologram of the finished structure. It helps players gather all the required resources and allows them to see exactly where each block should be placed. And for what I'm building, that is perfect. Once that was all set up, I got started with the top floor. I figured that would probably be the easiest bit to do, so that's what I did first. And it was really fun doing this. I'm not that used to building interiors, so it was quite refreshing trying something new. It was around this time where I finished off the dining room and I could look through the window into the throne room, and I realized I had so much more left to do. Like, I felt like I was making some decent progress through this room, but with only 36 hours left, I really wasn't too sure if I was going to get it all done in time. But I knew procrastinating wouldn't help too much, so I put on a podcast, zoned out, and started work on the stairs. I had a bunch of materials saved up from past projects, and because these interiors are made mainly from wood and stone, I'm not going to need to grind too much for materials. One slight downside to this is that I have a bunch of random chest monsters kind of scattered all over the place. I should really fix that. I'll do that later. Also, if you're curious, I was listening to a podcast by a guy called Dry Creek Wrangler School. I don't know anything about horses, but just hearing this guy talk about life is pretty great.
We got everything settled, went out to eat, and it wasn't anything like the Chinese food back here. There was some kind of steamed dumplings that they had made, and I ate till I thought I was going to be sick.
I then got to work on the red carpet, which would go through the entire interior, which was pretty straightforward for the most part. It wasn't too difficult.
But then I'm walking down the city one day, and then all of a sudden this smell hit me in the face. It was the most abhorrent odor I've ever experienced in my life. And the Chinese called it stinky tofu.
Next up was a little storage corridor that led in between the two floors, which took quite a bit longer than I first thought. I think it was mainly because the roof was a little awkward, but apart from that, it wasn't too bad.
And then before we left, we went to another restaurant. And so we just sat there and visited and talked and cooked, and it was delightful. Dwayne, what do you think about Chinese food? I think these people have got it figured out.
At this point though, I ran out of a few decoration blocks, which we would definitely need in the future. Firstly, I got the hay bales, which I managed to get from the village directly below the castle. I feel kind of bad for building my entire house looming over their whole village, but it's kind of funny. I also had to get a few bookshelves, which we got from the Stronghold libraries, and coincidentally, I also needed end rods, which we managed to get from the end at the same stronghold. I also picked up some soul lanterns and managed to fully finish off everything for the first floor.
So I encourage you to go through life with your mind open and to listen to everything that someone has to say and consider it and come out the other side smarter or more grounded one way or the other.
2 days in and we only have 1 day left. And I was getting kind of worried. I was starting to regret how long we spent right at the start designing the build, and the last thing we have to build is by far the most complicated and intricate rooms we've got yet, the throne room. I started off with the easy stuff, getting all the floors and all wood related bits done first, mainly because that's what I had most of. But then I got to work on the roof, adding in the lights as well, and I remember I really enjoyed doing this bit. I don't know why, this bit in particular, but it was really fun. Maybe because it was the first time building with jungle planks, so that was a nice change. Moving on, I started up building the walls, and at this point here, I was really starting to run out of materials, mainly light grey wool, white wool and white concrete. I used up as much as I possibly could until I ran out, of course. Now, I had a choice. I could either grind for a few more hours and grab those remaining blocks, hoping I would have just enough time to finish off the whole thing, or I could wing it, mismatching the blocks while still holding somewhat of a gradient, and you can probably guess which one I did. Okay, look, I know it looks a little bit tacky right now, but I've only got 15 hours left. I've got to rush. But at this point, I also got a bit stuck. I had this banner overlooking the whole throne room that I had no idea what to do with. So I asked my Discord server to see if they had any ideas, and after 1 minute, I had a response. One word: communism. That was slightly worrying, so I waited until there were a few more designs. There were only 4 hours left, and I still have tons left to do. I started off with the bits I've been putting off, putting in all the glass, finishing off the walls, getting the enchantment table done, and getting a bunch of flower pots. Starting to add the finishing touches like paintings, leaves, flowers, grass, and oh my god, adding leaves make it look so much better. But there's something missing. With only just 2 hours left, I made a mountain to sit on top of the castle. I also saw a wandering trader. I'm not really too sure how he got up there. But anyway, the reason why I'm making a mountain is because you can quite easily see the inside of the castle sticking out with the mountain range, which looked kinda goofy. So I changed that. At this point though, I thought I had finished. And with only 1 hour left, I noticed I still had the banner. Oh my god, how have I forgot that? So I scrolled through the Discord, ignoring the references to communism, that's still pretty worrying, until I saw a cool banner design by a guy called C-Dub. He recently got 100 subs recently. I really like his videos, so I'll put a link in the description for the channel. Very epic. Although I didn't really know what these red blocks were, so I kind of winged it going with mangrove logs. Until it was all done. I seriously cannot believe we finished it in time. It was literally to the very last minute, but we got it done and it looks pretty cool. Recently, I made a video that goes through every single thing we've done in this world, and if you haven't already seen it, I would, watch it, I guess. So, I'll see you next time. Goodbye. In the next 24 hours, I'm gonna place down 100,000 blocks. Or, at least, I'm gonna try to. I have no idea if this is even possible, but I guess there's only one way to find out, so let's do this. Now, I should probably explain quickly. This is my year-old Superflat world, and throughout the past 4 months, I have completely neglected this area. A while ago, I did build these floating islands in the air, and hopefully by the end of the day, they'll still be floating, but this time in water. This might be a bit ambitious, I'm not sure, but I'm going to be starting off with the easiest bit, that being the cliffside. I wanted this area to lead off from where the path ended, so I could have a trail leading all the way down to what will eventually be the beach. Firstly, using dirt to build up the general shape of the beach, before filling it all in with stone, cobblestone, stone bricks, light grey wool and concrete. I also think I ended up using mud, which was quite weird, mainly because I was trying to get some sort of gradient going from the darker colours to the lighter tones at the top. After that, I got all the finishing touches done, like adding in a bit of sandstone for this small section, covering up any areas I missed, and connected the dirt up with the grass, which didn't really take too long to get done. And at this point, I should probably explain that I've been using a mod called Litematica, and obviously, you guys already know all about wait, what? You don't know what Litematica is? Well, it's basically a schematic mod that allows players to build by visualizing a 3D hologram of the finished structure. It helps players gather all the required resources and allows them to see where each block should be placed. And without this mod, I would never have been able to finish this. Well, technically, I would have been able to, but it would have taken so much longer. But anyway, I got started with the next section, and because this build is ridiculously big, I'm gonna have to load it up into 5 different sections. Otherwise, well, my computer would just break. Then I lined up the next section so it would fit in perfectly with the rest of the build so far. And now that we're actually moving on to the big build, it's going to take a lot longer to finish off each section. I started off right at the lowest level, for 2 main reasons. One, so that I could have something to stand on when building up the next layers, because it's much easier to build looking up than it is looking down. Second, because it was the flattest layer, meaning it was the easiest to get done. And at this point, I kind of zoned out. Put on a few podcasts and started building. I didn't really have an exact plan on what I was going to build. I was originally thinking on building up everything layer by layer, because I thought that'd be pretty satisfying to watch. But I couldn't really be bothered, so I gave up soon after. I think I just went with the flow and just placed the blocks that I saw were missing. Also, the reason why I'm able to place down all of these blocks super quickly is because of Litematica. In this mod, there's a feature called Easy Place Mode, which is an absolute lifesaver and makes building schematics like this 100 times faster. If you're curious, I got these schematics from building them up in a creative copy of the Superflat world, and by using World Edit, I was able to build and paint up the entire ocean floor, which only took about a day or 2. And because I was the one designing the build, I intentionally used a lot of the blocks that I already had in reserve, like dirt and sandstone, blocks that are trivially easy to get in Superflat. Dirt because, well, it's everywhere, and sandstone because we can use a gravity block duper, switch it out for sand, and we are able to generate 3 blocks of sandstone every second. Yes, I do have to craft it, which does take a little bit of time, but if I just AFK'd overnight, I could very easily get all the blocks we need. At some point we would also need a bit of stone, but we have quite a lot of that spare from the last video, meaning all we had to do was to build it. At this point though, I finished off around 60% of the entire build, and I was so drained of energy at this point. I mean, picture it, placing down thousands of blocks like this. For 8 hours straight, it was awful, but I had more, so much more left to do. I also started up a little stream where I managed to finish off a whole other section, and it was quite nice catching up with you guys as well while doing this. It was a really good boost of motivation. I then ended the stream at around 9 PM, but I went for a little break to get something to eat. I got McDonald's! Oh, look at that beauty right there. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's very warm as well. Oh my...
All done. Very good. Not a fan of the egg though, you know, not really an eggy person. Alright, kind of binge person. You can come with me, why not? I feel so weird doing this. I'll do. Go. Fuck off. God, I feel like a loser. Time to go back and play Minecraft.
I then got back at 1 AM and it was starting to get pretty late. I knew exactly what I had to do and I just kept building. At this point, I knew I was getting close to finishing off the build, but there was still so much more left to do and it was so monotonous. But that was until 4 AM where I finished off everything for the main ocean. Yes, I did miss a few bits here and there, but generally speaking, it was finally done. Kind of. Not gonna lie, I would have liked to place something here, like a little building or like a structure or something like that down here, because it looks a bit barren, but I'm kind of running out of time. I should have finished it off 3 hours ago. That's how like far behind I am. So instead, I'm just gonna get started and placing it with water. That's right. The next thing I had to do was to fill in the entire thing with water, and looking back, I was really not ready for this. I figured the easiest way to do this would be by starting off right in the lowest layer and slowly building up layer by layer. That way, I could make sure each block turned into a source block, which is exactly what we would need for us to be able to pick up the water with buckets, and for it to replenish. Otherwise, well, it would be like this. Oh my god, that looks so weird. And I continued doing this for another hour, getting around 10 layers done, and that's when I realized something incredible. This is so boring. I was unbelievably bored, just placing down water again and 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 again. It was 5 AM and I had a plan to fix this. I came up with a genius discovery: gravity. My plan was to build a platform that would cover the entire ocean. Boom! Not too bad. Then I spent the next hour or so covering the whole thing with water, which was pretty easy. So easy, I think it was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. Then I had the tough bit, breaking every single block. And I'll be honest, this took a little bit longer to do, but by using a H2 beacon, I could insta-mine the blocks. And very soon after, we filled up the entire ocean with water. Easily. Within 24 hours. Oh. 40 hours? 40 hours! Oh, for God's... So yeah, that was the end of the series. Honestly, this whole thing was a really cool experience, but I realised I've not actually done a world tour. So this is going to be that. Now, the best place to start off is probably back all the way down here. I pretty much spent the majority of my playthrough on this world in this area alone. It's got all of my farms, all the bits. Honestly, it's a mess, really, the whole thing. It's like not organized at all. But I spent so much time just working, getting blocks, and building farms like this. This was the first house I made, I think in episode 1, I think I found it. And I just haven't moved since. I spent so much time in here. Yeah, one of the cool things about this base was the Vincent van Gogh painting. I think it's over this way. Yeah, you can just see the end of it here. I think this was the first bit of pixel art I've ever done. It looks really cool, actually. I remember this one taking ages to get done, though. Over there, actually, is what I used for a lot of, like, thumbnails. It's just a lime green box, because it's the closest color to the, like, the green screen things you see. And so I'd just take a picture of me and then crop it out. Maybe I'd zoom in a bit. And that's what I'd use as the thumbnail. But the first thing I built was these islands over here, and this whole place looks insane. I mean, there's so many mobs down there, you can see it's a bit of a death pit going down there. My idea was to have like some sort of decorations going all the way around. I think I had an idea for a spider being on one of these corners somewhere. It also works out quite well because where the hole is at the top, it lines perfectly with where this water thing is at the bottom, so it looks like it's got a weird glow to it. I don't know, I think that's quite cool. But if we go up, we have pretty much where the world starts. We have the statue of me. This is probably the coolest build I've ever done. I'm not sure if I explained it very well in the video, but I used like an AI to take a picture of me, and then I rendered it into Minecraft and built it with Limatica. It was a really cool idea. I'm really happy with it. Ignore that one. That's the most embarrassing video I've made. I didn't even show it in the movie. But yeah, placing down all of these trees and grass was quite a lot. I remember I really like how I did this cliff here. I don't know what it is about this bit, but this was the first main bit of terraforming that I did, and I was really happy with it when it first made it. Then I kept building across this way, adding in a massive lake, then building the castle, the village, windmill, and the dragon as well. Oh my god. The one thing that I don't really like, though, is that I've got a massive gap gap here. Like if I go to the side here, maybe you can see the cliffs. They just look terrible. Like it doesn't look good at all. Then we have this one here. This was the Hypixel Bed Wars map that I took. I think if I go to the side, you'll see how goofy. Yeah, it looks really bad on the side. But yeah, I think I just ended up getting a bit bored of this world. Like I had so many things I needed to work on, like this area here, like all the areas on the other side. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. With each video I did, I'd expand more land, which was good because it would cover more land, but then it would mean I'd have to cover around the areas around this. And I think that just got a bit too much for me. So I instead started experimenting with like challenge videos and like trying to do stuff in 100 days or whatever. And that made it a bit more interesting, but then I kind of neglected this world for like 6 months straight. And I didn't do anything to it. In fact, I think I still have the items from the last video still like left over in my inventory. But then I made a new series, the one I'm working on right now, and honestly, it's mixed both like the challenge aspect of this and the Superflat building aspect. It's perfect, really. I love the series so much. But I realized I never really gave this world a proper send-off, because this world really is like important to me. And at the start of the video, I did say that I saw Mogswamp's video, and then that made me to make all of this. In fact, I think I made that first video on this channel before I even made the channel, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the series. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.